Today's recommendation was Firefly. I know this is a big one in the nerd community, and I'm always really late to the game getting my nerd cred. It was high school when I watched the Star Wars trilogy for the first time. It was college when I watched Lord of the Rings and Doctor Who for the first time. I've been watching Marvel here and there. I do remember the cheesy early ones, so I go where friends and fans take me, and today it took me to Firefly. Oh, I did hear an interesting story. I did hear that it was the second episode, when the show was airing, Fox made Joss Whedon, the creator, air the second episode first because they felt it was better paced and much more traditional. But with that being said, you didn't have much of an introduction to the characters. And I think I did watch the second episode first because I watched The Train Job. And here on Wikipedia, it's saying that Serenity is the actual pilot, which airs later. So I think I could get a little bit of what's going on. I did look up a little bit more this time around. I did go in blind. I didn't look up anything about the show until just now after I watched this episode. But my first thought was, this is a Western. And sure enough, that's what it was, a Western in space, because everything about the setting and the cues, the musical cues, the score is very Western. So it was interesting to see that genre again. So I very much see the appeal. I really like, this is very much, war is going on, survive this. And that's it. It is a group of people trying to survive. And that is very fascinating. Oh my god, another thing is, goddamn, the budget on this show. Holy crap. The effects. My god, television generally doesn't have movie budgets. This looked like something you'd see in a movie. Wow. But I really liked, I could follow. I'm not really into space typically. It's just a world that doesn't really do it for me, but I was able to follow this and be invested. So I do get why this has a following. It's interesting. I wonder, is this the show that really made Nathan Fillion famous? I should have looked that up beforehand, but either way, he plays the captain, Mal Reynolds, who, again, great performance. You definitely get this charisma out of him. He has this very strong presence. And you get the sense he kind of knows everything that's going on. He's got his morals firm. He's got his thing. They're taking whatever job they can get. So even if it involves breaking the law, and most of the time it's petty theft. So I get the fact that they're smugglers. So cool. Yeah. I do like, it's actually, when I was looking it up, I found how relevant it is to today's time. The fact that United States and China are huge superpowers, that culture's really combining, but you get these timeless issues, corruption, lawlessness, survival, war. You get a lot of these very timeless concepts in humanity, so I do see why it's lasted. It's very relevant, probably more so considering you do see a lot of this huge gap between rich and poor. And you definitely get these, very traditional Western scenes, the showdowns, the betrayals, good versus evil. You get a lot of that, and I like the way they pull it off. I like the casting. I think this is a fun cast. Interestingly enough, there's very much a tonal shift. They all sound kind of breathy. It sounds very dramatic. They're quiet and they're breathy. And they're telling you that this is serious. But, tonally speaking, they are allowed to be people, and you get these very human moments that you don't just feel are tacked on. They're very throughout. These are people, clearly. And the way they do their humor, when the one guy is, well, when he's playing with the dinosaurs on the ship, just waiting for the next thing to happen, or when they're having dinner and feeling like a family, and they're making fun of each other. That's funny. Or I like their different roles. I do like group settings where everyone has their role, but they're also a coherent whole. But here in this setting, you also get, okay, people are going to turn on each other based on what's the most convenient. You get the possibility of one of the characters about to turn on the captain. So, and when she knows full well when has a deal with Patience, who famously shot him. Everyone gives him hell for it. Oh, he almost got his revenge. That is fun. Yeah, I'm really, really excited to be talking about this more with my friends. Because I do have very close friends who are into this show, so I'm now excited to say, hey, guess what I watched? They're probably going to be like, you didn't tell me! Why didn't we watch together? Yeah, I don't think I got the original pilot episode. I think I did get the second episode, because I did watch the train job. That's what Wikipedia and Google is telling me was the second episode. Episode order, Firefly. Yeah, yep, I definitely saw the second episode, but I think I get the general gist of it. Yeah. They're picking up passengers. They're not everyone's good. You have to figure out who's on your side, who's not, because the wrong answer could very much determine life and death. So that's fascinating. I like this crew. They're fun. They're human. They're family. Oh. Actually, the one thing about the effects, there was one thing that I noticed. So the young doctor gets punched by Mal Reynolds twice. And both times you don't see any blood or any markings. It was and considering how good the effects are, that stuck out to me. That was an interesting goof. So, because it's a very well-edited punch and you get the effect, but then when he comes up, no markings whatsoever, no blood, and even wipes his nose as if there's supposed to be blood, but for whatever reason it wasn't there. I found that a little funny. But overall, I get this. I know it got canceled. I do know some of the backstory, but I'm excited to see where this goes. It's one if I don't get more recommendations, it's one I'm going to be seeing myself watching with friends, at least the friends who are interested. So I'm excited to get more nerd cred, and those are my thoughts for tonight.